All right. Okay. Proud of the effort. I thought, obviously, they came out and were on fire there for a bit in the first half. They're incredibly well coached. Ton of respect for Speedy and their staff. They run great stuff offensively. They have some dynamic scores. You know, Thomas can really score. Dubar, of course, has a big time game with seven threes. I don't know, was it? I think 5 in the first half. Some of those were tough shots, and some of those we could have done better. But I just like the response from our team. You know, I thought we had great leadership tonight. I thought Jeremy was in great control of the game. His stats, of course, were great with 19 points and 8 assists. But for me, it was just his command, his poise, the way he looked throughout, was never rattled. He's really stepped up big time for us. And then to see Flip that way, he's 2 assists away from a triple double, and was just a force. They had to double him. When they didn't, he really attacked the basket hard. And I thought those 2 guys, Mark didn't finish as much, but Mark had some great moments. Like, he's so close. I'm telling you, Mark is so close to having just some big time games, and he's right there. But I love what our bets did, and then the guard play with Caleb, Jared, Jalen. I thought it was just a team effort. We switched a little bit how we played the defense. They spread you out so much, we ended up switching a lot. I thought we moved our feet well, limited their threes, and to hold a team like Hofstra, who averages 80 a game, to 29 points in the second half. Thought that was really good.
John, with the turnovers, they had, I think, 10 turnovers after halftime, and y'all had 20 points of your 31 off turnovers after halftime. What were you guys doing better in terms of forcing turnovers and then converting at the other end?
Well, they make you play very disciplined, because if you put 2 on the ball at any situation, like if you come over to help, they're going to find the open player. And basically everybody on the court besides, their bigs, like Fritz will shoot a 3, but that's not what he does. Everybody else will shoot him. And so I thought we had great discipline, starting with controlling the ball. I thought our pressure throughout, we didn't pressure to get steals, but I just thought our pressure wore on them some. Our 4 guards just continued to pick up full court and got on their legs, which is great. And then just keeping the ball in front and then staying disciplined when knowing when to help and when to stay at home.
John, did you get what you needed to get out of the last 2 games coming off of the previous week?
Yeah, I mean, for me, we knew going in we played 2 really good teams in Charlotte and Hofstra, and we just want to take a step forward. And, if that, of course, you want that to translate to winning. But for me, it's not just about winning. It's about how we played. It's about how we competed. It's about how we prepared. And so I told us, I don't know if I said it to you guys or not after the last game, but I know I told our team the blueprint is set. The blueprint's set after these last 2 games. You have to continue to adjust and adapt to who you're playing, what the game plan is. But in terms of the preparation, the collective effort, the fight, and tonight was great because we didn't have it, it wasn't perfect for us in the first half. So for them to take the lead and then for us to respond, I thought was great. Was great for this team to go through in that first half.
How much of the blueprint has to do with having an assist rate in the 60 to 70% range?
Yeah, it's a big thing. No, I just felt these last 2 games, you don't know who's scoring. Guys are just making the right pass. It comes back around to you. I'll take a lot of responsibility for that because teams have played us differently, and I've had to do a better job of positioning them where their strengths are shown, but also with adjusting to what reads are there based on how teams are playing. And so, like, to their credit, they played about 3 or 4 different defenses tonight, and so we kept, again, then we have to adjust to that. And but our guys, they're smart players. They adjusted on the fly, and I think they're gaining confidence with who we have to be together in order to win.
John, let me ask you about the 4-guard lineup the last 4 or 5 minutes of the first half. That was really the lineup that brought me back from 5-point deficit and then into the half. Just talk about that, how effective that lineup was.
Yeah, well, it was for us. Look, they were playing differently with Mark in there. Mark had some, like I said, he had some stuff right there that I wouldn't he can have 25 points in a game like this. It isn't what he has to do. Like, he's been passing the ball and playmaking for us in a big way. But, we went with Jalen in there because we want to spread him out on offense, felt we could really guard on defense, and Jalen was playing well for us. And Caleb was playing well. Jared was playing well. And so, again, I think our team, we're not afraid to play whatever 5 guys is going to be the best. Like, I've learned that from Coach K since day one I've been here. I mean, I remember lineups. I'm not saying it was the best lineup, but I remember where I was at the 4 for us one time. Taylor King was at center. I was at the 4, and Gerald Henderson, DeMarcus Nelson, Greg Paul was playing. You guys can fact check me if you want. Playing Wisconsin here in the ACC Big Ten Challenge. But for us, just putting a lineup out there, we felt we had to match what they were doing, and they gave energy, and then on offense it flowed really well.
And just a quick follow-up, if I may. Hofstra had 2 offensive rebounds and no second chance points, even with Duke playing a small lineup. We talked a lot about getting rebounds from your perimeter players. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, rebounding is all about grit. It's all about fight. It's all about doing it together. Even if you're blocking out a bigger guy, we've talked about you don't even have to get the rebound. Just you block him out, and then your teammate's going to have your back. And I have to watch the film, but I thought there were maybe 3 or 4 of those tonight where the guy that started the block out, he didn't get the ball, but somebody else did because he put his body on the line. So that's a big thing.
Flip said he lobbied to stay in the game the final 2 minutes, but
No, he didn't.
He
He
said
knew
you
he
pointed-
wasn't staying in.
He said you pointed to his 7 turnovers and said he had to.
Yeah,
he said-
rightfully so, by the way. I mean, rightfully so. I mean, it's he had plenty of opportunities to get those 10 assists, and so that's on him completely. Don't put that on me. That's on him.
If I could go back to that first half, you called a timeout towards the end. Your team was trailing, but once you went back in and took a 5-point lead at the half, you never really looked back. That seemed to be a key moment.
Yeah. By the way, I will say back to your question about Flip. For a 7-footer to pass the way he does is big time. And if he cleans up a few of those, all of a sudden he does have a triple-double. The amount of points that are scored from when he touches it is just such. It's an amazing thing to have. I don't think any team can match when he's that way. And so his passing was big time for us tonight, in all seriousness. To your question, Mark, we haven't started games well, and we haven't started halves well. And so we've tried to do a lot in practice just to prepare for that, to simulate a game as much as possible. And, I was pretty positive at halftime. And, I haven't necessarily been that way all the time, but I thought we fought. I thought we competed and did a great job at the end of the half to be in that position. And, our goal is always to make the other team call a timeout. And 2.5 minutes in, they did. And we kept our foot on the gas, and we're able to gain some separation.
You guys are now 10 games into the regular season. Jeremy said that these last 2 games have been the best from the team in terms of fight, in terms of the effort you guys have showed. How would you sort of assess where you guys are overall 10 games in, especially coming off these best games?
Yeah, well, I think the season this group has gone through enough in the last year to understand the highs and lows that can come with the season. I think currently we're in a good spot. We're far from, arriving. We're far from who we can become. I mean, we're doing this without Tyrese too the last 2 games. And so our goal, after that Georgia Tech game, Tyrese gets hurt. We lose that game right at the end, and our goal was to be the best team we can be, to elevate. And then when Tyrese comes back, we're a better team. And I don't think the beginning of the season was about effort or about these guys not wanting it. It was about understanding how to do it together on both ends. And it was an adjustment for the guys returning because it's different from last year. And our freshmen it's hard to be a freshman in college basketball. It just is. And these guys we rely on all of them. And so they're doing a great job of learning on the fly. But I think we're in a good spot. If we understand we have to continue to work, we have to continue to improve, and understand that the blueprint, we have to follow that. Like, we just have to follow that, and we're going to continue to adapt and adjust as a coaching staff. But I think we found some strengths with our team that we can definitely have moving forward.
It's felt like you guys, how's he progressing? Is he on the court yet doing anything?
Yeah, he's progressing well. He was on the court today. He really can't explode at all. And, look, we're going to be very cautious with him, and he's trying to do everything he can. He's off the crutches, which is a great step. He was on the crutches for about a week or so, and You know, he's able to do stationary shooting, but really no movement at this point. And so, again, he has to be able to do that for a consecutive period of time to even think about playing.
One more question?
Felt like you guys dialed up some of those inverted screening actions, having Jeremy and Caleb screen for Flip, not just to get him to the block, but to get him downhill in the middle of the floor, or coming off the down screen. Other than bringing in two different size guys into the screening action, what do you like about those looks with Flip and Caleb or Jeremy?
Well, we've had this throughout my time at Duke, but you know, with Flip, he's like the queen on the chessboard, right? And he can move all over the place. And Mark can be that way. He can be the queen on the chessboard in a different way. And so the positioning of those two guys is key for our offense. And then when you're playing the three guards, you know, you have to, I mean, the best scorer in the world is Steph Curry screens all the time. You know, Jason Tatum, I would have never guessed it, you know, watching him here. He's an incredible screener, though. You know, he screens. Like, it's, who would have thought, you know, that he would do that? And so as really good scorers and players, when there's attention on you, if you become a great screener, you're going to get open. You know, Mark has done a great job of that. And so understanding, you know, like, look, we have a group where they're used to having the ball in their hands in high school. They're used to playing with the ball, and so much of the game, if you get collective movement, collective screening, collective player movement, for our group, it can open up the world. And I thought actually we finished some better. We had some right at the rim. We could have scored over 100 points tonight. But I just love the sharing. I like the sacrifice of being able to screen and put guys in a different position.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, thank